Chapter 8. The Upward Curve. Before explaining this in detail, we must refer once more to Plate 4. It will be remembered that the variously colored bands which occupy the principal part of this diagram are intended to signify various stages in the upward progress of the monadic essence. In its downward course, which is indicated by the column to the left of the diagram, it simply aggregates round itself the different kinds of matter on the various planes, evolving that matter by accustoming and adapting it to convey vibrations and impressions, and at the same time acquiring for itself the power to receive and respond readily to these impressions at their respective levels. But when it has reached the lowest point of its immersion in matter, and turns to begin the grand upward sweep of evolution towards divinity, its work then is somewhat different. Its object then is to develop its consciousness fully at these various levels, learning to control the bodies which it constructs from them, and to use them definitely as vehicles, so that they shall not only serve as bridges to carry impressions from without to the soul, but shall also enable that soul to express itself on their several planes through their instrumentality. In this effort it naturally begins with the lowest matter, since its vibrations, though they are the largest and coarsest, are also the least powerful or penetrating, and therefore the easiest to control. Thus it happens that man, although possessing in a more or less latent condition so many higher principles, is yet at first for a long time fully conscious only in his physical body, and afterwards very gradually develops the consciousness in his astral vehicle, while in his mental body it comes at a still later stage. Turning to Plate 4. We see that we have a separate band or ribbon to represent each of the kingdoms. It will be noticed that in the band corresponding to the mineral kingdom we have the full width developed only in the denser part of the physical plane, and that in the part of the band which corresponds to etheric physical matter the band grows steadily narrower as we approach the higher planes. This of course indicates that in the mineral kingdom the control of the soul over the higher part of the etheric matter is not yet perfectly developed. It will be noticed also that there is a small point of red, showing that a certain amount of consciousness is already working through astral matter, that is to say, that a certain amount of desire is already manifesting itself. It may seem strange to many people to speak of desire in connection with the mineral kingdom, but every chemist knows that in chemical affinity we have already a very distinct manifestation of preference on the part of various so-called elements. And what is that but a commencement of desire? One element has so strong a desire for the company of another that it will instantly forsake, in order to join it, any other substance with which it may happen to be in association. Indeed, it is by means of our knowledge of these likes and dislikes of the various elements that we obtain various gases when we want them. For example, oxygen and hydrogen are combined in water, but if we throw sodium into the water we shall find that oxygen likes sodium better than hydrogen, and promptly deserts the latter to combine with the former. So we have a compound called sodium hydroxide instead of water, and the released hydrogen escapes. Or if we put some zinc filings into diluted hydrochloric acid, which is hydrogen combined with chlorine, we find that the chlorine proceeds to abandon the hydrogen in order to join the zinc, so that zinc chloride remains, while hydrogen is given off and may be collected. In fact, this is one of the ordinary methods of obtaining it. So it will be seen that we are justified in speaking of the action of desire in the mineral kingdom. If we now look at the band which symbolizes the vegetable kingdom, we shall see that it is of full width not only in the dense physical, but also in the etheric part. We shall see also that the point indicating desire is more fully developed, indicating a far greater capacity of utilizing the lower astral matter. Those who have studied botany will be aware that likes and dislikes, that is to say, forms of desire, are very much more prominent in the vegetable world than in the mineral, and that many plants exhibit a great deal of ingenuity and sagacity in attaining their ends, limited though these ends may be as regarded from our point of view. When we turn to the band representing the animal kingdom, we find that consciousness has advanced very much further. It will be noticed that the band is of full width, not only through the whole of the physical plane, but in the lowest subplane of the astral as well, showing that the animal is capable to the fullest possible extent of experiencing the lower desires, although the rapid narrowing of the band as we reach the higher subplane shows that his capacity for the higher desires is much more limited. Still, it does exist, and so it happens that in exceptional cases he is capable of manifesting an exceedingly high quality of affection or devotion. It will be observed also that the band representing the animal kingdom ends in a point of green, showing that at this stage there is already a development of intelligence, employing mental matter for its manifestation. It used at one time to be supposed that reason was the quality which distinguished man from the animals, that he possessed this faculty, while they had only instinct. As regards the higher domestic animals, however, that is certainly a mistake. Anyone who has kept a dog or a cat, and made a friend of him, as assuredly anyone who keeps a pet animal ought to do, will surely have observed that such creatures undoubtedly do exercise the power of reason from cause to effect, although naturally the lines along which their reason can work are few and limited, and the faculty itself is far less powerful than ours. In the case of the average animal, the point is quite correctly shown as embracing only the lowest variety of reason, acting in the matter of the lowest subdivision of the mental plane. But with the highly developed domestic animal, the point might readily extend even to the highest of the four lower levels, though, of course, it would remain only a point, and by no means the full width of the band.